Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And I have another Octomore in my cask. This has actually been by my request because I really love the Octomore. And I didn't have Octomore for a long time. I think the last edition was it 10? Was it 11? I'm not quite sure. I remember that. So it must have been like a few years ago, 3-4 years ago maybe. Yeah, so, but this one is the Octomore 16.2, 5 years. It's a cask strength, 58.1% ABV, and it's available on Whisky.com in USA and in the Netherlands and Belgium, but it's very limited. So, yeah, limited release. It will not be available for too long. They do have quite a good batch, but not too much, so they cycle through, and now we're at edition number 16. There is a 16.1, 16.2, 16.3. They differ, yes, from their ppm levels. There's not much difference between 100 and 150. There's really not that much difference between, like, let's say a 10 and a 40. There's a huge difference. 100 and 150 you will probably not be able to differentiate, but you will be able to have the years and the the casks, because the casks are pretty different, and the ABVs sometimes differ quite a lot as well, and maybe sometimes the ages, so they have quite some stuff. But don't be fooled by I had an Octomore with 300 ppm, and usually the 100 ppm, after 100 ppm, they're all the same. Yeah, a little bit of an anecdote how you come to these high ppm numbers. Usually the maltsters, they actually malt not to like the specification that most of the distilleries have, like 40 or 45 or something. They usually malt them to specifications just maximum 200, 100, 150, 300, just what comes out. And then they measured, and then they blend it together with unmalted barley. And with that, they can actually just have the blending levels to then the specifications of what the distillery wants. And then they ship it to them. And here with Octomore, they just say, just leave out the blending part. You have a batch, it has a certain amount of ppm, just tell us the ppm and ship it to us. And this one has 101.4, so that's why it's so odd, because it's just the number that they have measured in that batch, and they got the whole batch. So in other distilleries, you have one grain which is 200 ppm in there, and one grain which has 0, and then the number of grains level each other out to 40, 45, depends on what the distillery wants. And here all the grains have around 101.4 ppm, so they are not unmalted and malted together, so just malted barley. Just peated barley, not malted, they're all malted. Anyway, so yeah, it's technicalities. Does it have any effect on the taste? Yeah, the more ppm, the more smoky, but yeah, that's where it ends. If you blend it, there's no difference between blended and, yeah, all of them have the same ppm. There's no difference. What's very interesting here is 5 years old, and it is first maturation in Oloroso sherry casks, Bordeaux casks, and then you have a finish in Madeira and Moscatel casks. Also, they say concerto malt or concerto barley. They don't have that much of an influence on whiskey. There is a lot going on with the different kind of terroir, and the different kind of malt has very much influence. Yeah, it might have, but usually in the normal distillery, the cask and the distillation process has more influence on it, and you can tweak it through other processes as well to have it usually. So the distilleries, they do switch between different strains of barley. Here you have Concerto, next time it's Golden Promise, or I don't know, there are tons of varieties out there, and they are changed regularly to match what's going on with bugs, and what's going on with yields, and what's going on with I don't know, other stuff. And this is the Concerto, which is not that influential. Okay, let's try what's inside the glasses. That's the important stuff. Anyway, very sweet, very smoky. It wasn't as sweet when I had it the first time in the German take. Here it is very sweet with a lot of dried fruits, fresh fruits, apple, yeah. Was it dried dates, figs, dried dates, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Quite strong, and I really love it. I love the strength of an Octomore. It has a cask strength, it's attacking your mouth. Tons and tons of smoke. Smoke's everywhere. It's just a smoke bomb going up in all around your mouth. And then you have a good amount of sweetness. This is probably the sweetest Octomore that I had, or I can remember. And yeah, I really love it. I really love the extreme sides of whiskey. And this is, in terms of smokiness and cask strength, is quite the end of the line that you can get. Okay, nice. It took a little bit of the edge off, and it made it a lot more sweet and a lot more fruity. Oh, this is a smoke and fruit bomb. Yeah. Oh. Holy moly, this is smoky, sweet, fruity. Wow, this is, when you think Octomore is just the end with smokiness just for the really hardcore guys. No, it's not. Try it. It's a bit too expensive to have it as an everyday whiskey, but it's not too extreme. If you have 100 and they go up to 300 ppm, they are not too extreme. They have really a nice palate, but they're just very smoky. And if you're into smoke, then they're really good, but they are not over smoky, I would say. Probably it's not possible to have over smoky. Not quite sure. Maybe after 1%, 1000 ppm. I love it. Yeah, this will stay with me. So, yeah, that was it with the Octomore 16.2, 5 years old, and it's available on Whisky.com in the US and in the Netherlands and Belgium. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.